There's something special about games that take place in space. No matter whether we're talking about Space Invaders or Mass Effect Andromeda, adventuring in the unknown is often an amazing experience. With all the alliances, enemies, and lovers we will meet in Mass Effect Andromeda in mind, we bring you 10 games that are all about interspecies collaborations in outer space. One rule though, we're leaving Star Wars and Star Trek out of this video. Now let's go to infinity and beyond.
I was going to bring music, but I didn't know what you'd like. And I'm babbling like an idiot.
Let's start with the obvious. Mass Effect obviously has a place on this list. You get a team made up of different species, including the awesome Krogan.
It's the female shepherd. Now that they're fertile again. I haven't slept in I don't know how long.
You have alliances with many others, and some of those alliances can even blossom into relationships. Liara, we still love you. Ever since we made love with our first alien in Mass Effect, and we fought side by side with other aliens, the series has earned a special place in our hearts. Yes, we are hyped for Mass Effect Andromeda, but let's jump to the next game.
Back off, or I will push you down!
Whoa! Easy.
Keep the lights on for us. They'll be back before you know it.
When mankind's first jump drive goes wrong, a misfit crew is trapped on the wrong side of the universe. Now it's your job to get back home to Earth together with your handpicked crew. Along the way, you will form alliances with strange aliens and make choices that don't always make your journey easier. So you will need help from those other species. But it's up to you to choose with whom you want to work together. The long journey home is an upcoming space adventure that's already very promising.
The world has to know what's waiting for it out here.
There's a game that's all about space romances, and that game is called Starcraft. Jim Raynor and Sarah Kerrigan still love each other, even though Kerrigan is now the Queen of Blades and wants to destroy all life in the universe. The love between Raynor and Kerrigan is the focal point of the entire story of the Starcraft 2 trilogy. Sure, the story is linear and there's no way that your actions actually influence the plot. However, it's an interspecies space romance with dire consequences for the entire universe.
Do you still believe in me? I love you, Jim.
Even though you can't meet other gamers in the universe, you can meet alien races in No Man's Sky. Look for knowledge stones to learn new words. This way, you can improve your standing with the local aliens. In the end, it's not about building meaningful relationships, but about building business relationships. One might argue those are meaningful as well, but let's not dive into that. Exploring the universe in No Man's Sky is a huge job, so we could definitely use some help from the locals.
There's an old Korean saying, you can't put a price on honor. Well, maybe the offer was just too low.
In Rebel Sky, we're basically a space cowboy who's trying to make a living in the new frontier. As the commander of a huge spaceship, you battle pirates, explore the universe, and befriend aliens.
Fjorden klokken der, min detecter, ampulen min pris.
This would allow you to do missions for those aliens and get rewards in return to improve your ship. Besides trading, you also get to fight aliens because they can't all be good guys, right? In FTL Faster Than Light, you need to take a ship to the Federation headquarters, which is several space sectors away. You do this with your team that can consist of 8 different races. There's no romance here, but your team needs to work together to survive and make it to headquarters. So let's say there's some serious teamwork going on. Every race and every character has its own strengths and weaknesses. You need to repair and build your ship, and along the way you need to deal with rebels.
Using salvage technology from Nefsys, these alien entities had managed to decipher our communications.
There's probably no other game out there that can compare with Stellaris. This is the deepest space strategy game out there. It's your job to form a galactic empire. You can do so by colonizing remote planets and integrating other alien civilizations. This can be done by war or diplomacy and everything in between.
And you'll soon discover a seemingly infinite number of species, ranging from primitive creatures yet to walk among the stars, to advanced spacefaring empires much like your own.
Stellaris is grand space strategy, and that means you can befriend other races or destroy them one by one. Unfortunately, befriending never leads to romance, though.
Their world's ravaged. I don't see how we can be the great threat in the universe.
Galactic Civilizations 3 is another one of those grand strategy games. Even though you can see every alien species as an enemy, you don't have to. You can choose for diplomacy and build relationships to take down common enemies together. Such a political alliance is convenient, of course, but it's likely that there will be some backstabbing along the way.
Both sides have become increasingly desperate, leading them to turn to the galactic underworld and compete for the services of their elite mercenaries.
Political relationships don't tend to be the most stable when we're talking about conquering space.
Now, after 30 years of constant warfare, our alliances are breaking down.
With Sins of a Solar Empire, we touch upon one of the older grand strategy games out there. Also in this game, there's a battle for galactic supremacy going on between several factions. In the latest standalone Rebellion expansion, these factions can even break up into loyalists and rebels.
Rebellion has even started to fracture the unity of the Advent. Not sure if they still want to destroy us or one another.
Diplomacy is an important aspect of this game, and you might want to keep the advanced Vasari Empire as a friend for now. Creating alliances will get you far in your quest to rule the galaxy.
They only ever saw what was in the mirror. I always saw what was beyond.
We end this list with one final grand strategy game, Endless Space 2. This game is currently in early access. In this strategy game, you control one of the races in their quest for power over the galaxy. You need to explore, expand, and exterminate your enemy.
To destroy planets.
Endless Space 2 has 8 playable civilizations, each with their own pros and cons. Once again, diplomacy is needed to create alliances and outsmart common enemies. However, this can lead to internal diplomacy troubles when the Senate is made up out of characters of many different ideologies. But that's a problem for later.
But soon, very soon, they will see it as well.
Even though we tend to use aliens for our political or economical gain a lot, there's not a lot of alien romancing in video games. Perhaps we need a bit more of that. Thankfully, Mass Effect Andromeda is here to spice things up. Will you be playing the newer Mass Effect? Will you be waiting for the long journey home? Or do you prefer grand strategy games? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos.
So, how were those noodles?
A little spicy.
I love you, Grunt.